going on, dudes and dudettes? Yeah, that thing is. What's going on, dudes and dudettes? So, yes, the Lakers did actually make some bit of roster moves. Even after the trade deadline, they were able to sign LA native Spencer Dinwiddie, who they've obviously have tried to get in trades, or there were rumors at least they were trying to get him, and even in free agency, but just never worked out. But yeah, LA native, went to Taft High School, so it's always been a dream of his to play in the purple and gold. Even his parents are obviously even more excited than he is because they were true Laker fans, and then they just had to root for the team that their son was playing and getting paid for. But now they're happy, he's happy, and it's pretty funny that there was even like a thing in his contract that came out where if the Lakers win the championship this year, he's only awarded a bonus of $1. But I guess it's some kind of running joke that him and his agent have had for the past couple of seasons, and the Lakers were still able to give that and offer that, which is pretty funny. Obviously, that's the main goal, is for him to contribute and get this team over the hump and into the finals and win it. But it's going to have to do a lot of gelling together very quickly, and hopefully that does end up happening. I know they played tonight, Tuesday night, and I believe he did get like 7 assists and played in that, but I will get into that game in a little bit. But yeah, overall, nice signing. Definitely great because they didn't have to give up any draft picks or players and money as well. So it's worked out for the best in the end for my LA Lakers. And yeah, speaking of them, the other day they did beat the New Orleans Pelicans 139-122. Austin Reeves had 27 points himself as well. And it was pretty funny. There was this thing that came out right after the Super Bowl that the year Kansas City won, which I believe was that 2020 year, or yeah, when it was the 49ers and Kansas City again playing in the Super Bowl. That later that same year, both the Lakers and the Dodgers, both LA teams, won their titles in their bubble situations or whatever later in that year, which is pretty funny. Obviously hoping the same thing goes, not the whole COVID and having to wait for bubble games and all that, but definitely if both the Lakers and Dodgers were able to get titles this year, that would be pretty freaking awesome. But like I said, they have to gel together and come pretty quickly. Come together pretty quickly, because even the Dodgers made a bunch of moves in this offseason, and that all has to work and gel, because if not, then I think it might be time to move on from Dave Roberts, in my opinion, the coach. But we'll have to wait and see. And then, yes, as I mentioned tonight, the Lakers did play and beat Detroit 125-111. Anthony Davis had 20 points, 14 rebounds, and 6 blocks as well. And it was nice because I think both him and LeBron didn't have to play in both the fourth quarters in the last couple of games, which is nice because they actually have a back-to-back against Utah Wednesday when this video comes out. So hopefully they're well rested and ready to go again. But yes, hoping they get this victory, because this team is right behind them in the standings. So we'll see where they end up moving up after these last 2 victories. But yeah, overall, pretty nice thing for my LA Lakers. And the other day it was reported that the Chargers are set to hire ex-49ers linebacker and Penn State player Navarro Bowman. Obviously was on the team when Jim Harbaugh was coaching up there in San Francisco, but he will be the linebackers coach for the Chargers, which is pretty awesome because he's most likely a future Hall of Famer pretty soon here, since he hasn't been playing the past couple of seasons. And he was obviously a great player, but one of the better leaders of that 49ers team, along with Patrick Willis also. So definitely very excited. I know this isn't official yet because Chargers have not put out a social media post, but hopefully that will happen soon at some point, and you all will be the first to know. And then, yeah, there was a bit of rumors about Jim Harbaugh and Austin Eckler. Apparently, Harbaugh said that he loves Austin Eckler, especially the type of player he is, and would love to keep him around. Even Austin Eckler been doing some interviews and stuff before the Super Bowl, saying that yeah, it would be a good opportunity to come back with Coach Jim Harbaugh now as the main guy in LA, but he also knows how the situation was and is looking forward to maybe joining another team as well, a different one. So he could come back, he could not, but if they're going to give him a gigantic contract, then I'm not cool with that. But if it's like a 1-year deal, a prove-it deal, then yeah, I'm good with that. So we will see. And then some other bit of news, they did not get Antonio Gates into the 2024 Hall of Fame, which is pretty embarrassing in my opinion, because some of the guys that were selected don't even have as good of accolades and aren't even in the top like how he is as one of the best players at his one position at tight end, especially for a guy that barely played in college. He mostly played basketball and then was a phenomenal star at that position for the Chargers when he played with Phillip Rivers. But yeah, it's just very sad that because he can't say now that he is a first ballot Hall of Famer, he will most likely be a second ballot because they will correct their mistakes, I'm hoping, next season or next year. But yeah, pretty tough news to not hear him get that. I think Dwight Freeney did get it, who did barely play for the Chargers in his career, but he had a better career with the Colts, and I'm pretty sure that's why he was more recognized for that. But I guess congrats to him. And then, yeah, Chargers are also looking at a couple scenarios where they might end up trading or maybe even full-on releasing both defensive ends, Joey Bosa and or Khalil Mack, just depending on what they can get when it comes to draft capital, or maybe another player they're going to take a chance on and they're saving money as well, trying to get rid of those big contracts. And I believe with Bosa, it's better if you wait with him more, because after like June, something like that, in the calendar year, he's not giving back as much, and then the Chargers actually save more money when they let him go and release him at that time. So probably better to wait and see about a better deal on him. But with Mack, you kind of might just want to take the best thing you can, because it will be hard to try to tell yourself to give any of these guys a bigger contract, with Mack being how old as he is, even though he had a great year this last season, and then Joey Bosa always dealing with injuries. It's hard to give him a contract as well. So we'll see what they end up doing, but definitely looking forward to this draft, because it does look like they will be trying to get more draft picks than what they have already. So looking forward to seeing what the overall, strategy is for that draft coming up in a couple of months. And then, yes, Chargers are set to hire Notre Dame's Chris O'Leary as their safeties coach, and I'm pretty sure he was that same position coach with Notre Dame. But it's obviously fun that my NFL team is taken away from my college rivals team, so I'm all for that. And he did coach a player in Xavier Watts, and I only remember him because he did really good against USC when they had to play over there at South Bend. So maybe he will be putting his foot down to see if he can get his player drafted at some point in the draft. Watts, I don't know, because he looked talented, but a lot of mock drafts, I don't see him selected till mid to late in the draft. So you never know, but it'll be pretty cool to have his one player drafted on the same team as he is. So looking forward to that if that does end up happening. And Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, is having their 25-year anniversary re-release this May. I think it's like May 3rd, something like that, which is pretty cool. I remember seeing it once in theaters back in 99, and obviously loved it because I grew up, that was my Star Wars growing up. Obviously, I'm most likely hated by all the original Star Wars people, because even when I try to watch those movies, it's not just Star Wars movies, it's older movies in general. I kind of lose interest just because it just looks way older and I can't really grasp it. But either way, I will most likely be checking this out in the near future, and that poster is really cool as well, especially the wider version to show more of it. So yeah, looking forward to that again. And then yeah, there's a little bit of an update on that Hulu show The Bear, where I kind of was wondering when it would be released, and I know the last 2 seasons have been released in the month of June, and I didn't think that could have happened this year, because they're just barely going to start at the end of February right now in a couple of weeks. But it looks like they might be able to get that release, because that's the date, at least a month, that they're targeting to release in 2024, which is pretty awesome. So gonna get one of my favorite shows back even sooner than I expected. So looking forward to that, and hopefully you all will be watching it too and checking it out, because it's definitely well-deserved show. And then when it came to a little bit of other more random news, especially an update on some of the stuff that I have been watching going back in 2023, there was a Amazon Prime documentary called Bye Bye Barry about Barry Sanders and his time with the Lions and kind of why did he retire so early. I've always just seen highlights of him, never really understood the story and all that stuff, so they got down into it, and it's obvious that he was playing for a bad franchise at that time. They obviously could use him nowadays, but yeah, overall, it was a really good documentary if you don't know much about the story. And it's always weird, whenever they show Barry Sanders highlights, it's always in like a little bit of slow motion. They never show like his full on speed. It's always slow motion. I never get that, but I guess it just looks cooler for the NFL films people. And then another movie I did see, a superhero movie called Shazam 2: Fury of the Gods. It's okay. I didn't really like the first one, but I know this came out at that time, so still wanted to check it out, because I remember seeing a dragon in the trailer, and the dragon was okay. It wasn't that great, and overall I think I wasn't even laughing at some of the stuff I should have been laughing at, so I wouldn't give this a pass as, telling you guys to watch it and recommend it, but if you want to, go ahead. And there was this other one called Cassandro that was on Amazon, which is about a gay wrestler. Well, you don't know that he's gay in the beginning, but he's just doing like really back alley wrestling down there, lucha libre in Mexico, but then decides to become an exotico, which is basically the more flamboyant and someone who doesn't wear a mask while wrestling, and then he ends up having a great career and becoming big after that. So, and there is a little bit of triumph and heartbreak in there as well. So it was a pretty good overall movie if you're interested in watching something good and heartfelt. But yeah, it was pretty, I didn't even know it was based on a true story, so that was pretty cool to see at the end. And then I just recently saw yesterday on Tuesday the newest Transformers movie, Rise of the Beast, which was pretty good overall. I mean, it's kind of interesting not seeing both Shia LaBeouf or Mark Wahlberg, the main characters that have been that in the franchise, and they kind of did some different stuff with some of the Transformers as well. But it was pretty cool that they went all the way to Peru, which was nice, seeing Machu Picchu and all that stuff, and them battling out there in Peru, which was really cool and pretty awesome to see. But there is a spoiler I'm about to talk about, so if you don't want to know, don't watch the rest of the video. Just gonna sign off, and that's it for the rest of the video. But at the very end, one of the last scenes, there is somebody that does recruit the main actor to join his league, and I thought it was just another like Sector 7 or something like that of the older Shia LaBeouf Transformers, but apparently he was recruiting him to be part of the G.I. Joe. So I'm assuming the Transformers plan is to mix Transformers and the G.I. Joe, which would be pretty cool. I mean, I guess Transformers uses military quite a bit, and they don't really have to fight. I guess there's some other stuff that the G.I. Joes can end up fighting, because there are smaller robots at the time. But I don't know. It could be interesting, but I don't know how much money this movie made either, so it could have been all just flushed down the toilet, this idea, and we're not going to get it, sadly. But either way, looking forward to it. Yeah, looking forward to it if it does happen. Yes, thanks for watching, people. Like and subscribe, comment down below. Let me know what y'all think. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.